Okay, are we recording? Hi, Matt. This is Chewy. I'm Wookie. And that would be Callie. And as you've asked, we are going to make a little tutorial of how to put this sword together. To the best of my knowledge. He's really helpful. Okay. Got my new rod here. I was just testing it out to slip some foam on it and see how it works. Alright. So, the first thing I do is wherever I have put my duct tape, it'll take just a second here. Alright, Matt, you can see the end here. I do not like ends like this, so what I do is I take tape and I'm going to put a layer over it and then wrap it around it and that edge just a little bit. Okay, you can see now it's a little bit softer, and if it pushes, it's going to push whatever's on top of it with it, so it won't just allow foam to slip through it and push out, or be able to lever the foam up. It'll push solidly as one solid tip. And now it's flat like that. That's just for right now. Okay, so what I've done now is I've put some glue, DAP contact cement to be specific, on the core, and then I slid the foam down over it, and now I'm making a securing base. I like to use electrical tape just because it kind of condenses it really well, and it sticks pretty good, and it feels good on my hands. So, as you can see, I'm kind of wrapping it around and whatnot, and then going around the pipe. And I'll keep doing that until I make a very solid base that stops the foam from being able to move up or down. Alright, as you can see, the little bottom part is really wrapped tight, and it goes straight onto the frame, and then there's this here. I like doing these on my bigger weapons, because it allows me to lock my hand down around it, and it makes it a lot harder to knock the weapon away from me if I have a catch. So, now we're going to take care of this end. You can see it's sticking into my foam about a ½ inch. So what I'm going to do is cut a small circle of blue foam and put it in there. And then I'm going to cut two big circles of blue foam and put them on top. So it gives me about 1.5 inches instead of just 1 inch. That way, in case it ever starts to try and push through, I've got that extra bit of protection. Okay, you can see here, it's stuffed full of blue foam now, at the very core. So it's already got a ½ inch of foam. You can still feel the core, so that's where the other 2½ inches of foam, so it would be 1 inch total, will go. Okay, you can see the first layer of foam's on there. Now I only do one layer of tape on this one just to get it down, and you can see it goes up and over this side and then down the other. And then I'm going to do the other one exactly the opposite. And then I'm going to do the masking tape all the way down. Alright, now we've got that on there. And now what I'm going to do is take a strip and run it all the way down the blade. And then I'm going to set another one over it, just barely overlapping all the way down. So it's the least amount of tape to cover the whole blade. Alright, Matt, as you can see, the whole thing around is now covered with a thin layer of masking tape. And it's not a lot, so it's still a very light weapon. I mean, I don't know if you can see pretty well, but I mean, I can pick this thing up with one hand and move it pretty dang well. Now, very important with the weapon this big because of how long the blade is. A normal piece of pantyhose, if that's what you're using for your covers, will not go the whole way. So do not put your pommel on until you've got pantyhose on, because I have to do a layer down from the top to about the middle of the blade. And then I cut a tiny hole in one and run it up from the bottom, so then it runs up to the middle as well. And there's some tape underneath there holding those two together. And I usually do 2 layers on the top of this weapon because of how big it is. It oftentimes catches the ground.